welcome Jeroen, and thank you so much, Janor, for your participation. I hope you can stay on for the next session with Jeroen if you can. Yes. So Jeroen, you're a part technologist and part business strategist and founder of Social ImpaKt, dedicated to developing projects in Southeast Asia that improve the livelihood and the living conditions of the working poor. Tell us about what you're doing, and we're looking forward to hearing your presentation today. So thank you, Jeroen.
Yes, thank you, Brett. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Fantastic. Thanks for the introduction. Maybe the best is that I have a very slide presentation, 5 to 10 minutes. Is that possible to share the screen so that people understand what
wonderful. What wonderful. Yes, you can. So please just check. You should have screen sharing.
Okay, share screen. Can you see?
Yeah, that's terrific.
Okay, fantastic. So for the people, some people on the call know me, some know what I do here in Bali, some don't. So I'm going to very quickly introduce Social ImpaKt, my company. I've also added, so the title is Improving Access to Clean Drinking Water, but I've also added organic vegetables because I'm working on a new project that I will briefly touch on in the end. That's a new thing, it's a new venture I'm about to launch. So today is my first time I kind of present both, I combine both. We are a social enterprise here based in Bali, and our mission is to improve access to clean drinking water in the cities and in the rural areas. I'm very much focused on rural areas because this is really my passion, my drive since I've been here. Is a technology that is not known, and my role is to bring it to this last mile. We are impacting UN Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which is clean water and sanitation for all, but actually impacting many more goals like SDG 1, 3, 8, 10, 13, 14, and 15 by providing this technology to the village. So basically reducing inequality, helping people to earn a better wage, and kind of breaking the vicious circle of poverty. Climate action, meaning we are also reducing plastic bottle use, plastic bottles in the sea, life below water, and life on land. Very briefly who I am, I like to call myself an ex-corporate turned social entrepreneur. I worked 20 years in corporate, quite high level, up to in the B2B ingredients business. My last job was for a UK company based in Dublin. It was running about $260 million and 800 employees. But then I said, something is not wrong. My heart is not there anymore. I was still young, quite successful, below 40. And I said, I want to change. I want to do something new. So I read about social entrepreneurship and moved back to Asia because that's where my passion lied. Used to work and live in China 7 years before in corporate. Yeah, so that's very briefly about me so that you see who I am. What is the issue? And that's what I studied back in 2012. I was doing some research, many issues in the world. What do I want to do? What do I want to go for? I want to be a social entrepreneur, very nice, but what is it? What can you help with? And then I read statistics about water. And then I decided to focus on this because in the world, about 1 out of 7 people here, 1 billion out of 7 don't have really access to safe drinking water. And diarrhea that's what really struck me and decided me to go into this. This was really something that made me very emotional. And I said, I need to work on, maybe help on this, meaning that it's the second cause of infant mortality in the world, meaning that every 2 minutes a child dies from diarrhea because of unclean water. So this is just unacceptable in this age of time. If you're wondering what's the first cause, it's pneumonia of infant mortality. Infant mortality is basically babies. It's defined, and young children is defined by children below 5 years old. In this country, 34 million people, which is about 15% of the population, don't have access to clean drinking water. And poor access to clean water kills more young children than all of these horrible diseases combined that you see here on the screen. So what do I bring? I bring a solution which is called the Nazava water filter. It's basically, I'll show you very briefly. I have it here in my hands. Box. I don't know if you can see my screen, but it's basically a very simple 15 centimeter long cylinder, kind of a candle, I call it. Very, very, very compact, wherein water comes through here through the holes, very small holes, 0.4 micron, and then there is carbon inside. And this carbon will clean the water and the pesticides and everything we don't want. But the most important thing, bacteria are filtered out by size. And there's also colloidal silver coated here, which kills the bacteria when they're touched. So double protection. This is very, very simple technology. And we put it on this. This is my smallest model, is my baby. I call it because it's a for Costco Sun for the small, let's say, for people who have like a small room, who are living maximum 1, 2 people, 6 liter, 2 buckets. You open basically the water, you open this, you pour the water on top, and by gravity, no electricity used, just by gravity, it will filter down in 1.5 hours. You have about 6 or 13 or 20 liters of water, depending on the size of the buckets. We have different buckets. This costs around, this is my cheapest one, it costs about $15 altogether, so 270,000 rupiah. And it goes up to $40, $50 depending on the products. So it's a very, very affordable technology. So as you can see, it is like 30 times cheaper than buying water, which is a normal aqua or branded water you would buy, because about 1,000 a liter, so about 30 times. Ours cost only 29 rupiah per liter over the 3-year lifespan of the filter. So it's $0.002, and it's 5 times cheaper, 150 rupiah per liter, than boiling, because people still boil in the villages water with gas or some also wood. So we have all the benefits here: less time consuming, cheaper, available, reduces diseases, and also deforestation, because we don't basically use wood anymore to boil the water. So what's my impact since 2013? That's just my company. I'm close to 300,000 lives improved. We've impacted with improved access to clean water, and the cumulative savings of all the people who are using my product. If I took all my recipients all together, it's about more than $1 million, $1.1 million over the last 6-7 years, and that's very conservative because we take only $21 per household per year. It's actually more, but that's an average. The filter also reduced CO2 emissions and deforestation. We've saved about 14,000 tons of CO2 since we started in 2013. And the last benefit, and not the least, and this is indicators we use, which are standard international indicators. We have reduced plastic bottle use units before the end of the year. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Can, thank you. Yes, we can.
Okay, okay, good. And this is my most important slide, what I want to basically, because we are breaking the poverty circle with just this system. If you have limited access to clean water in a village, people are also generally not very healthy. They are quite bottom of the pyramid, quite poor. They're gonna get diarrhea because they drink water which is contaminated from the river or something. They have poor hygiene. Sometimes they still go and do their things outside. They don't have toilets in the home. They don't have always a good nutrition. And then the kid gets sick. I've seen that many times in villages here in Bali. The mom doesn't go and work. She has a war room. Why? Because the kid is sick. They don't have nannies. Yeah, they have to stay home for the kids. So there's less money coming in for the family. So low income and savings. So just bringing clean water can break this. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. And now this you can see, this has been taken. Ahmed's little kid is looking at it on the right-hand side. This is dirty water from a river. It comes out clean like this in the bottom. On the left, it's not urine, sorry. It's just a little bit water, which is from a non-deep well. It's a bit dirty, full of yellow stone and stuff. So it gets clean. So just as the visual thing. And I've started here in Bali, 2014, 15, and I basically sold 1,500 filters to people who have not much money, because I want to know, I have this idea, but is it viable? You know, they earn maybe 800,000-900,000 a month in rupiah. So that's what, that's 40, 50, 60 dollars, 50 or 60 US dollars. It's not much. My product costs maybe $20. So can they do that? And it is not easy to convince them, but I was quite successful because I went to the influencers, the local influencers, the head of the villages, the schools, the teachers, and I've also set up a network of 30 women reselling the product. So just also to provide new income opportunities. They're making like $3-4 on my product. We need people, we need time. I was financing that. It's you get paid after 4 or 5 months, but it's working if you want. You need just a team to do that. So that was a great eye-opener for me. I said, I'm in the right place. It's working. I can do that. And then this is a few pictures of my actions in the villages to get you quickly through it. This was in Lombok after the earthquake. We put a lot of filters after the earthquake in Lombok because our product is also very useful in disaster relief situation. And recently I also did a distribution in Nazava in East Bali, about 125 filters this village has been affected by an earthquake. This is close to Mount Agung and Mount Abang. So we have helped the people there who had with access to clean water. Now they can drink. They can take water from the river or water from a well and drink it without boiling it. My current strategy is to continue my expansion to Eastern Indonesia because there the filters are even more, let's say, impactful. I have already started a few projects in Flores, in Sumba, and also with some foundations, also with some schools to reduce plastic bottle use, huge schools with 1,000 students. Pandemic is unfortunately slowing down these things, especially with schools, but we'll get there. Also find the right partners, and also for sure, it's a social enterprise. I need to live. I need to basically survive here. So I'm having a retail businesses in Bali. Have about 15 shops reselling. The famous one is the Bali Buddha network in Bali, and also the 5 shops they have, and also Satvika Boga in different shops. Sorry. Yeah. So since the pandemic started, I've started a crowdfunding campaign because my product can help, and this is an economic relief. So I distributed since the pandemic started about 2,530 filters to vulnerable communities, and then I saw issues like these people don't earn a lot of money. So my recipients at that time are waste picker communities, street food vendors, construction workers, Gojek drivers. So what I would call sometimes economic refugees because they're from other islands and they can't really go back because there's not much also income there to earn. The pandemic is all over and worldwide. So people from Java, Sumba, Flores. And I see how the impact, because when today they earn 50,000, they used to earn 50,000 a day, maybe, like for instance, waste pickers. Now they earn 25 a day because there's less plastic taken in Java and because of the pandemic. So when they buy water, they don't buy aqua, but they buy the isi ulang, the refillable, it's 7,000, 19 liters. Still 7,000, and that's about a third of their income that day. So we are really providing economic relief. They can use that money to buy food, other things, or something for the kids. So I've worked with a lot of organizations like Crisis Kitchen, like SOS, like all the relief organizations. Actually, we've created also an association, Bali, called Bali NGO and Associates, to kind of monitor and synergize all the aid during the pandemic in Bali, and I'm the vice president of this association. To date, I've fundraised since the pandemic started about $60,000, and I'll still continue. For sure, we do a bit less than we used to do, but I mean, it's still usable and done. So I think I'm kind of at the end. I have a video that I might share later. Sorry, I need to go down. Okay. That I think maybe that's it for right now. My vegetable business I might start to cover it later, Brett. I think it's not the topic of today.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing this incredible work that you've been doing, Jeroen. And I was particularly interested in the specific impacts that your project has been able to make. And I'm interested to know if you've identified people that are interested in buying those impacts. So you've had an impact on health, and there are organizations around the world that spend big on trying to deal with issues like infant mortality and in creating carbon offsets and reducing and sequestering carbon or reducing carbon emissions. So for instance, if people are, instead of boiling the water, they're not using gas to boil their water to clean it. They're actually using your filter. And obviously there is a reduction of an emission there. How have you gone with measuring that? And have you identified anyone in the marketplace interested in buying those impacts?
Sorry, anyone in the marketplace that what? I didn't hear the last.
That are interested in buying those impacts, in buying those results.
Yeah. So what I think what you're trying to ask Brett is also about to kind of scale the impact and find bigger organizations who are like maybe have funds. So the answer, yes, I've done actually more private funding, especially for events like earthquakes or programs. It is hard. I mean, I'm not looking at international level, let's say with big NGOs to get money in, because I'm a very small company with 2 people. What I'm trying to do is also I need the resources then to distribute. Every time I go and distribute these filters, these 2,000, I need to do the training. So it takes time. You cannot just give it like this. There's a training, how to use it, how to maintain it, how to clean it. So the thing is, I've done quite a lot when the earthquake of Lombok happened. I mean, I had to scale my business 30 times in a matter of 2 weeks. I supplied about 7,000 units there over 1 year, and the first 4 months was 4,000 or 5,000 units. So it's huge. But we also need to distribute them and to have the people who can train. So I trained 15 NGOs in Lombok, set up a team, like 2 people storage, and then 15 NGOs were distributing my filters and explaining to the people how to use it. And that's the best way to disseminate it, because to the donors and to the people who fund this, you have an accountability. You need to make sure they are used. So I make all what is in my power to make sure, and generally they are, because people are trained on it and they can see the benefits of, they just save money, they see it immediately.
So you've had the opportunity to be working in an emergency response situation, is that right?
Yeah, so Lombok was a big one. Mount Agung in Bali in 2017 was kind of the volcano was kind of blowing, but it was not lava, but a lot of people had to evacuate. They wanted living close to the crater. And so they all went to our villages closer to the sea, but it was like about 150,000 evacuees at some point who were living in different banjas, different other villages. And it was like camps of 300 people sleeping there at night with like with 1 main kitchen and then 2 toilets. It's kind of not great conditions. They were just hosts in other villages. And then we put the water filters there. We put about 1,500. And I was also working with other organizations who kind of did the same. So there was some funding coming in also. For instance, Copernic, who was also working with me on that. It's a great organization, Bali. So we were collaborating. So that was fantastic. That's really what we did. Lombok was the biggest one. And then I did my own crowdfunding campaign in 2017, where I raised about 60,000 US for over 1 month to distribute in 1 main village close to Sidimen in Telagatawang. So I distribute about 1,000 filters in 1 village. And I have also an impact report on this. I was quite surprised about the fact that 95% of the people were using them. So I thought it would be a bit lower, but it's been very successful there. But you need to go also there. The training has to be efficient. I need to go back and check how the product is used. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, 60,000 in a crowdfunding campaign is a really tremendous result. For other people on the calls that are working in that, in the impact space, what tips would you give them into how to produce a successful crowdfunding campaign?
There's 2 things. You need to be very clear about your objectives, explain what you're fundraising for, what will be the impact, and have a very, very good story. And the video is the main thing. So maybe I can share my video, which 2.5 minutes of this crowdfunding campaign that I have for the pandemic. So you have an idea of it. Is that a good thing?
That'd be great. Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. I hope it will work. Go to page, it should. Okay. So this is my crowdfunding page. And I'm going to show you the page, but the issue. So just to answer, you have very quickly, not go through all of it, but just you have the issue at hand with COVID-19. Most of the livelihoods here have disappeared and the jobs because of tourism. Solution for our filters, they have never been more needed than now, because 5 times cheaper than boiling and 30 times cheaper than buying. And I put a few pictures, the technology, I explain what the product is, how it works. And then I've put this slide again about this circle of poverty that I showed earlier. A few other pictures with my work in action in Lombok. This is all in Lombok. and then where will your money go and what does it buy? So you're clear about what basically the money will go for and how will it be done. And I said we'll distribute the water filters to the families who need them most with all precautionary measures, wearing masks and gloves. That was for sure with the pandemic. So that is kind of the structure of my page. And the video I wanted to show you is here. Let me share that with you.
Sorry, we can't see you. No, we're still on your slideshow.
Okay, so 1 second. I will. Are you on my? Did you see my page of the crowdfunding page? You did.
Yeah, I think you're sharing. You're not sharing your computer screen. You're sharing your individual individual screen.
1 second. You don't see a video now?
No.
What do you? Okay. Stop share. I'm sharing. Why is it?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 sec. I'm gonna go to the direct YouTube link then. It's gonna be easier. Sorry about that.
So how's the community, the Balinese community responded to the water filters you've introduced? Like, have you developed a lot of good news stories? Have people been really hyper excited and responsive?
Yes. So again, I would say it's a push product because they don't know about it. Some people know about it. Some people buy it, like let's say the medium class and the people living in the city. They're a bit more educated. So that works. But then when you bring them to village communities or for an impact, you need to really do this training. And then if you explain to them what the benefits are, I also do a training session that they have to. There's another don't come assembled, so they need to assemble it themselves. And that is very, very powerful in the end, that they know how to do it. When they go home, they can repeat that. So when you do all this, I know how to do that because I've done it for let's say many years. I learned, I improved. Then the answer is yes, they use it and they're happy about it. Can you see a video now? No,
no, we can't see it at this stage. But I would like to just, Kana Leia's got a question. So I'd just like to invite you to unmute, Kana, and share your question with Jeroen.
Thank you, Jeroen, for all your good work. It's so exciting and heartwarming to understand and learn of what you're doing on the ground, and especially the photos of the children. To the best of my understanding, when you were presenting, so I'd love to understand what are some of your core challenges. So distribution is one of them, I'm hearing. And also another question is, in regards to the ceramic filter, is the ceramic filter itself renewable, and then the carbon filter in itself inside as well?
Yeah. And
then the plastic tub, like I'd love to learn a bit more of the renewable.
That's one bottle.
Yeah. So very good question. I forgot to mention that because I know we didn't have much time, but like this filter you can use for 3 years. So and we have an indicator, a size indicator, who shows when you need to change it. So it is even if you use it longer than 3 years, if people won't change it, it's not dangerous. Will not. It's just a recommendation because the carbon starts after 3 years maybe to be a bit less efficient. But it is still filtering, yeah. It's going from it's a log model going from 99.9 95. It takes time, yeah. But that's not the main thing. It's better to have it fully efficient. That's why we say change after 3 years. But the important thing is that these bacteria don't get in, and they will never get in. Even if you clean it, it becomes smaller. And you have also the we call it silver, who kills bacteria and viruses. So it is super safe. So that's about the changing thing. You need to change the whole thing. And then about the plastic on the bottom, yes, this is not recyclable. You need to take it off once you have used the filter, and then you separate it, because the rest is stone and carbon, can go in nature. It's just minerals. But the little plastic bottom we need to separate it if you want to recycle it. Well, that's why and then I give it to plastic recyclers. That's why I advise my customers. And here is the thing, now it's new, can't go through. This is the, can you see me? Because I'm on the, can you see me?
We can hear the background video running on your computer. If you could mute that, please, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Yeah, I can see you, Jeroen. I'm just trying to understand. So what, maybe just let you do one thing after another.
Did you understand that? And about the challenges?
I don't know
the
what that
question
hook is. Like, is it a horse ring thing? What is
Obviously,
that?
the horse ring thing is to check the size, of the filter when you need to change it. So when you can go in, I'll show my hand now, it's time to change it. 3 years, because this will get smaller in the sense that
Got it.
you clean it with a brush. This is the brush, you clean it, this will get smaller.
Awesome. And then, so then, thank you, Jeroen.